What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showcasing my dad's Steelbook collection, so let's get right into it. Starting with the top of the shelf here, we have his John Wick chapters 1 through 4 Steelbook collection. So going from left to right, we have the former Best Buy exclusive John Wick chapter 4 4K Steelbook. In the middle, we have the chapters 1 through 3 Stash Book collection, which is tributing the scene at the beginning of chapter 3 Parabellum, where John Wick goes through that stash book in the library before he brutally kills Boban, which was hilarious. So that's a really cool collector's edition. And then to the right, we have the Walmart exclusive John Wick chapter 4 Blu-ray Steelbook. So John Wick is one of our favorite franchises of all time. It arguably is the best pure action franchise in the modern era, and I love every installment. And earlier this week, we got our first trailer for From the World of John Wick Ballerina, which is the spin-off in the series. It looks incredibly promising, and it's definitely one of my most anticipated films for next year. So there's a lot of great additions across slipcovers and steelbooks for the John Wick franchise, so you really can't go wrong with whatever additions you choose to get. But I'm very happy that my dad was able to acquire these specific steelbook editions for his collection. So moving along, we have some carryover titles that I will showcase at the very end, but y'all came here for the steelbooks, so let's continue on with 310 to Yuma, 1917, great film. Harrison Ford and Gary Oldman in Air Force One. Animal House. Now, this is going to be a hot take. I watched this for the first time a few years ago when he came home with this steelbook, and I gotta say, I did not enjoy this at all. I thought the comedy was incredibly dated. I didn't find it funny, and when you watch a comedy and you don't laugh, it essentially fails in everything that it set out to do, because a comedy is obviously supposed to make you laugh. So I'm definitely willing to give it a rewatch, but upon my first viewing, I just did not find this film funny at all. And like I said, I know that's going to be a hot take because a lot of this fan base finds the film absolutely hilarious, and that's great. I'm glad that the people that enjoy this film have a good time with it, but as of right now, I'm unfortunately not one of those people. So Animal House, not my cup of tea. Moving along, we have Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now. Great film and a fantastic Lionsgate steelbook. And if you have not already, go check out my Out of the Theater reaction for Megalopolis, live on my channel now. All right, we have the original 2012 Avengers, great Marvel film. We have the iconic Back to the Future trilogy. This is the steelbook set. Great trilogy, with the original being my personal favorite. Batman Begins and the iconic Dark Knight. These are both just standard Blu-ray steelbooks, but I'm glad that my dad has these films in his collection nonetheless. I definitely need to get The Dark Knight Rises for him to complete the trilogy, but great films. But if you have been watching my channel for a little while now, you will know that The Batman is my personal favorite Batman film. Not perfect, but damn near perfect. I love it. Great film. All right, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Another hot take. I did not enjoy this upon first watch. It's certainly not a bad film. It's just not a film that resonated with me the first time that I saw it, so another one that I'm definitely willing to go rewatch, and hopefully my opinion will change. Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down, one of my dad's favorite films of all time. The Bridge on the River Kwai, an excellent Tom Hanks film, Captain Phillips, directed by Paul Greengrass. Cool Hand Luke, Cutthroat Island, an excellent Martin Scorsese film, The Departed, the first Doctor Strange from 2016, Dread, a great Carl Urban performance and probably my favorite Steelbook artwork. I have my own copy of this, but I'm really glad that my dad was able to acquire one as well. Fun movie. Denis Villeneuve's Dune from 2021 and 2024's follow-up, Dune Part 2. Great film. I love the character of Feyd-Rautha Harkonnen in this film, played by Austin Butler. I love his introductory scene where he tests the sharpness of a blade by putting the blade on his tongue. I think that was a beautiful moment. And I love the way that the arena commentator presents him. Feyd-Rautha! Great character and a great movie overall. I thoroughly enjoy it. It was great in IMAX, and it does not disappoint at home in 4K. All right, Dunkirk from Christopher Nolan, Blu-ray Steelbook. First Blood, and then Rambo Last Blood. The Fugitive. The best part of you ran down to crack your mama's ass and ended up as a brown stain on the mattress. I think you've been cheated. Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket, one of my favorite films of all time, and certainly my favorite Stanley Kubrick film. Fury. The Green Mile. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Another one of my dad's favorite films of all time, The Guns of Navarone. Hacksaw Ridge. Hell or High Water. The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. All right. Now, one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I did not really emphasize this in my initial complete 4K collection video, but I grew up with Indiana Jones. I love it so much. These are pivotal films that I watched countless times in my youth that really helped me fall in love with cinema as much as I have. And, you know, I really tribute these films to why I love cinema as much as I do to this day. Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of the greatest films ever made. It's one of Steven Spielberg's most iconic films. And in terms of the Indiana Jones franchise, Raiders and Temple are my two favorites because they're just two of my favorite films of all time, period. Now, it depends on the day which one I prefer. Raiders is certainly the more iconic film overall, but, you know, I don't have a favorite movie of all time, but if you were to tell me to put together 3 movies that I could take with me for the rest of my life, and those were the only 3 movies I could ever watch, I feel like Temple of Doom would be one of them. I mean, this film is gritty, it's intense, it's dark and seedy, and it's just a great adventure. I love this film. I've always loved it. It's always captivated me, and I've only appreciated it more as I've gotten older. And I know that Spielberg himself is not a big fan of this installment. I think that's unfortunate because, come on, Spielberg, you made a great film here. I love this movie so much. Phenomenal. And then obviously Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is also a great film. The original trilogy is obviously the best. And then we have Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Some people are saying ever since Dial of Destiny came out that it's like the new worst entry in the franchise, which I think is absolutely absurd. Anyone who says that, you can't trust them. Dial of Destiny is obviously better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I don't even hate this film. I mean, it's definitely the worst of the series, but I don't think it's, you know, like Alien Resurrection or some abomination against humanity like that. It's not, you know, good, but it's not atrocious. You know, Dial of Destiny is definitely better. So, you know, like I said, anyone who says Dial of Destiny is worse, you can't trust them, but film is subjective, so I digress. All right, Interstellar, excellent film. I hear that this is coming back to cinemas in IMAX this December for its 10th anniversary, so if it is, I definitely will be checking that out. This is a great movie. Jack Reacher. All right, just adjusting here. Now, moving on to this shelf, like I said, we love John Wick in this family, so that is why we also have this John Wick chapter 1 through 3 Steelbook, which is beautiful. Nicolas Cage and Lord of War. Mad Max Fury Road, one of the great action films of the 21st century. I love it. It's spectacular. And the prequel that came out a few months ago, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Good movie. My dad and I saw it twice in theaters. We've watched it once at home in 4K. So I've seen it now, you know, 3 times in about 4 months, and it's a movie that's pushing 2.5 hours, so I obviously enjoy it, but it doesn't hold a candle to Fury Road. It just doesn't. I do like it, and I'm happy that it exists. You know, it's unfortunate that it bombed. It definitely did not deserve to bomb at the box office like it did, but it's a good film. It just doesn't hold up to Fury Road, because this is an excellent film. This was a little bit too artificial at times. It just, you know, it felt a little bit too fake at times. But, you know, still enjoy it nonetheless. All right, now getting into the Mission Impossible franchise. So, Mission Impossible 1. The worst in the series, easily, Mission Impossible 2. The most underrated in the series, Mission Impossible 3, which I love. This is a great film. Probably my second favorite in the series behind Fallout. So then we got Ghost Protocol. Great movie, but let's be honest, after the movie kind of blows its load in the middle of the film with the Burj Khalifa sequence, I mean, the rest of the movie is kind of forgettable. I mean, the end of this movie, I mean, who really remembers what happens at the end of this movie? Like, he fights in, like, this parking garage. It's like, I don't know. This movie really blows its load a little bit too early with the Burj Khalifa sequence, which is fantastic, but that's in the middle of the movie. So I still enjoy it nonetheless. Rogue Nation, good film. Like I said, Fallout, my personal favorite. This is an excellent modern day action film. And then Dead Reckoning. Should you call it Dead Reckoning Part 1 or just Dead Reckoning? I mean, seems like they're dropping the Dead Reckoning Part 2 subtitle. I mean, maybe they're going to still call it Dead Reckoning Part 2, but I saw that they might just retitle it since this one underperformed, because it came out a week or like 9 days before Barbenheimer, so that really hurt this movie. And that's unfortunate because this is a really good installment. I mean, this is a quality action film. It's a solid installment. It's not as good as Fallout or Mission Impossible 3 or even Ghost Protocol. It's probably my fourth favorite behind those three, but it's still a quality action film, and people definitely need to see it. So anyway, looking forward to the 8th installment next year. All right, the final Daniel Craig Bond film, No Time to Die, which is good. It's my third favorite of his 5 films. So it's good, not great. The incredible Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's magnum opus, starring Academy Award winner Cillian Murphy, and also Academy Award winner Robert Downey Jr., and directed by Academy Award winner Christopher Nolan. Incredible film. I don't give a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10, an A+, whatever grade system you want to use. I don't give the highest grade to many movies. I try to be very selective, but to me, this is an A+, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. I think this is an absolutely incredible, monumental film. I saw it in IMAX 70 millimeter like 6 times, because I just so happened to live by one of the 19 theaters in the world that was showing this film in IMAX 70 millimeter. That was my local Cinemark, so I just got really lucky and I took advantage of that. So I literally saw this movie in IMAX 70 millimeter 6 times. I saw it 9 times in the theater total, which is the most I've ever seen a film in the theater. Behind that, I saw The Batman 8 times in theaters back in 2022. But this is an incredible film, a very monumental film to me, and I will cherish it for the rest of my life. I know that kind of sounds over the top, but I stand by it. I love this film so much. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. I actually got a chance to see this in the theater last year, around Halloween time at an art house theater. That was a really cool experience. Great film. Pulp Fiction. This is probably my second favorite Tarantino film behind Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. A Quiet Place. Quiet Place Part 2. Both solid thrillers. Rear Window. Reservoir Dogs, another excellent Tarantino film, his first film. Saving Private Ryan, incredible Steven Spielberg film. Saw X. This is not my dad's. This is mine. It's a newer pickup, so I wanted to go ahead and include it in this video just to showcase it. This is definitely not my dad's. This is mine. But I did really enjoy this last year in the theater. I saw it on opening night. It was quite entertaining. All right, Schindler's List. Watched this for the first time earlier this year, and to me, this is like a true horror film. You know, it's very well made, it's well acted, but it's absolutely heartbreaking to watch. It's disturbing. Films like this are true horror films to me, not some ghost movie or something like that. I mean, this is truly hard to watch, and it's definitely well made, but very, very difficult to watch. All right, moving along. The Shawshank Redemption. Sicario. This would probably be my second favorite Denis Villeneuve film behind Dune Part 2 and ahead of Dune Part 1. I think this is an excellent film. Rewatched it again earlier this year and it just blew me away. So intense and dark and seedy. I love it. It's right up my alley. Take from that what you will. All right, Silent Night from John Woo. Spartacus from Stanley Kubrick. The Stain, another film that's iconic that people love that I was not a huge fan of, but I'll give it a rewatch. Tenet, a mixed bag from Christopher Nolan. Some great sequences, but also a lot of stuff that I don't really feel like watching again, so definitely a mixed bag. The original Top Gun, which is overrated, but the absolutely not overrated sequel, Top Gun Maverick, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, arguably the best sequel ever made, certainly one of the best sequels ever made. This is an absolutely incredible film. I love it, just like everyone else should as well. Training Day, good film. Alfred Hitchcock's masterpiece, Vertigo, very good film. And Young Guns. All right, and then this is just some stuff I sat here in the meantime with October around the corner, so some titles I'm going to be watching in the next month leading up to Halloween. Obviously, we got the original Halloween. These are all Scream Factory, Halloween 2, 3, Season of the Witch, 4, The Return of Michael Myers, 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, the Lionsgate Halloween Steelbook, Alien Covenant, which the more I watch this film, the more I dislike it. I think it's really bad, actually. Like, the scene where the two Michael Fassbenders, David and Walter, are playing the flute together, like, what? I just, ridiculous. The 2019 Joker, definitely will be rewatching this again leading up to next week's Joker Folie à Deux. The Universal Classic Monsters 4K collection. And Scriforum, I have this apart from the other ones just because this is the only Scream film not on 4K, so it's not currently with my 4K collection, but I'll be giving that a watch probably. And then Alien, another one of our favorite franchises of all time. My dad and I, love the original Alien from 1979. He always has told me stories about just the girls screaming bloody murder back in the theater when this originally released during the chestburster scene. And then Aliens is such a fantastic sequel from James Cameron. And then Alien 3 is not atrocious, but it's certainly mediocre. And Alien Resurrection is awful. It is just absolutely horrible. I hate it. It might just be my least favorite movie of all time. I hate it so much. Moving along, we have this Aliens Collector's Edition that he got before Aliens had come out on 4K, but it's such a cool edition. We're just gonna keep it because we love the movie so much. And then here's his Bourne collection. Now we're kind of getting into some stuff that obviously isn't steelbooks, but he still has it on the shelf. This has like a slip cover and everything. Very nice set. I have them all individually if you go watch my collection video, but this is still a great set to have. Very cool. And then my dad's a big Dirty Harry fan, so these are all the Dirty Harry films on Blu-ray in this collector's edition. Magnum Force, I believe believe is still his favorite film of all time. And then moving back up here, some additional titles he had on Blu-ray that were not in the other collection video, which definitely go check that out if you haven't watched it already. That's his standard Blu-rays and 4Ks, apart from his Steelbooks, but he didn't really have enough room to fit all of the titles that he had in there, so a few other titles of his. Heat, and then The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, which is my favorite installment, Mockingjay Part 1, Mockingjay Part 2, Lincoln. I remember seeing this in the theater with my dad on opening night back in 2012. Good film. And then the Matrix trilogy. Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows. No, we did not pay $23.99 for that. And then The Town, great film. And finishing off with North by Northwest. He just pre-ordered the 4K Steelbook of this, which is coming out soon, but he still wants to keep this just because he's such a big fan of the movie. So this is the Blu-ray Digibook. So anyway, once again, shout out to my dad. He's definitely a big reason why I have fallen in love with cinema in the first place. So I definitely credit my love of cinema to him, but also I appreciate my mom as well, because she was the one who was actually driving me over to Blockbuster back in the day a lot of the time to, you know, go rent movies in the first place so I could actually discover new things that I didn't know existed at the time. So thank you, Mom and Dad, both. You know, I definitely got to credit both of them. So anyway, if you like this, there will definitely be many more videos like this to come. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. I'll be seeing Joker 2 next week, so definitely look out for an out of the theater reaction video for that. If you haven't already, go watch my complete 4K collection video on my channel now. Go watch my other collection video that I posted. It's the other part of my dad's collection, like I said, slipcovers and steelbooks. Definitely go check that out. And go check out my Megalopolis out of the theater reaction review that I posted earlier this week for the early IMAX premiere of that film. Definitely a very polarizing feature, but thank you so much, everyone. Subscribe, like, comment, and I will see y'all in the next video. Take care.